Now on Coast TV News.
The White Marlin Open 1 day away. How the weather is changing this year's schedule. Ocean City Water Rescue. What the Ocean City Fire Department said happened Saturday morning.
After a sensational Sunday, tracking beautiful weather to start the week, but with some minor concerns of air quality as well as rip currents. We'll talk all about it in the full forecast.
This is Coast TV News at 6.
Good evening, I'm Brandon Ferguson. Welcome to Coast TV News at 6. We begin tonight with new information about a water rescue in Ocean City. On your screen now is the area of where the Ocean City Fire Department says a young swimmer was rescued. OCFD says at around 9:30 a.m. yesterday morning, a fireboat crew were already training near the Route 50 bridge when the swimmer in distress call came in. A rescue swimmer with the Ocean City Fire Department located a barely conscious young male. First responders say the rescue swimmer battled through rough swells, bringing the child to safety. The boy was then taken to the Coast Guard station for medical care. And for a full article on this swimmer that was rescued in Ocean City, head to our website, coasttv.com. And this brings us to our Coast TV poll. We want to know, how are you dealing with rip currents this summer? Let's take a look at the results. So far, 47%, the majority, saying just avoiding the water in general, with 23% saying stay close to shore. If you haven't voted yet, you still can at coasttv.com or on our mobile app. And we're now going to take a live look into a packed Ocean City there, and we're going to bring in First Alert meteorologist Chris Mastrobuono. And Chris, another beautiful day outside and people are enjoying it.
I mean, you can't complain about this weather. It's picture perfect. Check out these morning lows this morning. 58 degrees, Georgetown, 58 even in Ocean City, 59 Salisbury to 59 in Cambridge. We're going to be right at this again tomorrow morning, maybe even a few degrees lower than that, with some clear skies and some radiational cooling. You can see a few high thin clouds into Lewis. We're at 75 in Lewis, 74 Bethany Beach, 76 in Millsboro, those dew points. 40s and 50s, so very comfortable, and it's going to stay that way really for the next 2 days. We see a few high clouds there rolling in, some remnant cloud cover from a few showers down to the south across the Carolinas, but high pressure in full control. A gorgeous evening with temperatures falling to around 66 by around 10. Again, many of us away from the coast falling into the upper 50s. A little wrinkle in the forecast tomorrow. We have air quality alert in place for all of Delaware. That kicks in on Monday. Code orange for those with unhealthy, those with unsensitive conditions, those suffering from asthma, any heart or lung conditions. Want to limit your time outdoors. It's going to be hard because there's going to be plenty of sunshine tomorrow, very comfortable, low humidity, temperatures in the mid 80s. We are keeping a close eye on the coast late week for a potential coastal storm. We'll talk more about that in the full 7-day forecast here in a little bit. Brandon.
Thank you, Chris. And tomorrow will be the first day boaters can set sail for a chance to win millions of dollars in cash prizes for the White Marlin Open. Coast TV News reporter Kevin Zapay shows us what's in store for the week ahead.
Grab some gear, start your engine, and set out to go fishing. The 52nd White Marlin Open will set sail all next week. Brendan Hanley is the owner of Pure Lure, the title sponsor of the event, and he says this event brings waves of people and cash.
This is one of the biggest events, hosted in the world. It's the richest billfish tournament in the world. This tournament is the busiest week of the entire year for all of Ocean City. So not only that, but it's just the trickle-down effect for all businesses is impactful.
According to Hanley, last year brought over 300 boats for the tournament, but believes this year will bring less due to the weather ahead.
Right now, the offshore conditions are pretty horrendous.
While larger boats can still handle the weather, smaller boats will have a harder time. And one family hopes the weather holds out so they can reel in a winning fish.
Reel them in, reel them in, reel them in. We had until about, I think, 6 or 7 o'clock this evening in order to register. So we're going to give the weather one last look later today and make our final decision if we can go or not.
Changes have been made this year to help boaters. Usually boaters can choose 3 out of the 5 days to fish, but due to the oncoming weather, Saturday and Sunday are now an option, allowing boaters to fish 3 out of the 7 available days. I'm Kevin Zapay, West Ocean City, Coast TV News.
In Lewis, a dispute between the city and its police union is unfolding after FOP Lodge 22 issued a formal grievance and a unanimous vote of no confidence in the city manager, Ellen McCabe. The conflict stems from recent police promotions that the union says violated city policy, bypassed competitive testing, and were made without input from department leadership. City officials say they're aware of the concerns and have begun a confidential review process. They're standing by both the city manager and police chief, but are not commenting further as the grievance process moves forward. And staying in Lewis, city officials are reminding locals to help keep the town safe, clean, and walkable as summer crowds continue. The city of Lewis is asking property owners and guests to keep their sidewalks clear of trash and recycling bins and to remove those after pickup. They're also encouraging everyone to maintain front yards, porches, and walkways. And we are just getting started here on Coast TV News at 6. A North Dakota overnight shooting kills 2. No arrest made yet on these deadly attacks.
And a pleasant evening on tap here on Delmarva. Cool and comfortable. We fall from the 70s through the 60s early evening and then eventually the upper 50s to lower 60s overnight. We'll talk about beautiful weather to start the week as well as some unsettled weather by the end of it. My full forecast in minutes.
14 explosives found during a Tennessee arrest. What's the next step for detectives? We have that story next here on Coast TV News at 6.
This is Coast TV News at 6.
Over a dozen IED explosive devices were found in a home of a Tennessee man during his arrest earlier this week. Polk County Sheriff's deputies and detectives were at the home of 54-year-old Kevin Wade O'Neill on Friday to arrest him for allegedly threatening to kill public officials and law enforcement personnel. A bomb squad later found a total of 14 devices, which officials say O'Neill had attempted to detonate upon officers' arrival. He now faces a slew of charges, including 11 counts of attempted first-degree murder, 14 counts of prohibited weapons, and 1 count of possession of explosive components. A night of violence has rocked the city of Fargo, North Dakota. At least 4 people were shot in 2 separate incidents overnight. The first shooting happened in the downtown area just after 2 a.m. 3 people were shot, 1 victim died at the scene, and 2 others were injured, and 1 was seriously injured. A short time later, a second shooting claimed a life in another part of the city. It's unclear what prompted the shootings or if the 2 are connected. So far, no arrests have been made. And the search is ongoing for a Montana man suspected of fatally shooting 4 people at a bar in Anaconda, Montana, Friday night. Officials say today they confirmed the names of those victims and announced a $7,500 reward for information on suspect Michael Brown, who is believed to still be armed. And the manhunt is intensifying after law enforcement recovered Brown's truck, but there was no sign of him. Now officials are urging residents to be on high alert as the search now expands into the mountains. And a Monroe Canyon fire is still burning in central Utah after nearly 3 weeks. The fire started back on July 13th, and as of last night, the blaze had grown to over 57,000 acres, with only 4% being contained. A combination of crews on the ground and aircraft has helped slow its spread, but as well as to stop the flames from jumping across Highway 24. Evacuation orders from Monroe Canyon were lifted on Friday, and people were allowed to return to their homes. A state of emergency has been declared by Governor Spencer Cox, and it's still in effect as the cause of this fire is still under investigation.
And we may see some Canadian wildfire smoke make its way over Delmarva tomorrow. We have a air quality alert in place for Monday. Code orange, unhealthy for sensitive groups. We'll talk more about that as well as how long this beautiful weather is going to stick around when Coast TV News at 6 continues. Well, what a weekend it has been on Delmarva. Folks enjoying the sunshine, low humidity in Ocean City. Note the surf. Some rough surf continues. That high to moderate risk of rip currents will continue through the day tomorrow. We're at 75 right now in Ocean City, dew point 57, so very comfortable out there. Making our way up the coast to Bethany, 74 there, 75 Rehoboth to 76 in Georgetown. We're at 77 in Milford. You can see that wind flow out of the northeast continuing. Winds anywhere between about 5 to 15 miles an hour. We were basking in sweltering heat and humidity last week, and you can see we've taken the plunge and we're in that comfy range. We're going to stay that way at least through about Wednesday, and then humidity is going to ever so slowly be creeping back up. Nothing all that oppressive expected this week. That rip current effect is still going to be there for tomorrow, expecting moderate risk of rip currents from Lewis down through Ocean City, and then Ocean City all the way down to Assateague Island. We also do have small craft advisories up through 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. As I mentioned earlier, air quality alerts go into effect tomorrow for the entire state of Delaware. DNREC issuing that. You can see air quality right now is good for most of Delaware, but as we go into the day tomorrow, unhealthy for sensitive groups. Those suffering from asthma, heart, and lung conditions, you may want to limit your time outdoors. I know it's going to be pretty tough with the beautiful conditions, but we may see some haze out there tomorrow with the sunshine, all thanks to Canadian wildfire smoke. So we'll kind of see how that behaves throughout the day tomorrow. We are clear, we are dry right now under the influence of high pressure, and that's really going to be the case here over the next 2 to 3 days. 57 to 66 overnight, partly cloudy, cool and comfortable. As I mentioned, aside from the air quality alert tomorrow, a gorgeous day. Temperatures in the lower to mid 80s, 84 to Cambridge, 86 Easton to 83 in Salisbury, 80 in Ocean City. Making your way to the beach tomorrow, a gorgeous afternoon. Pack the sunscreen. UV index is high. Again, swim near those lifeguards because we are going to be dealing with that moderate risk of rip currents. We're clear. We're dry through Monday. We'll see a bit more in the way of cloud cover. We'll mix of sun and clouds through Tuesday. Warm, looking at highs in the lower to mid 80s, and then we'll definitely see more cloud cover into Wednesday as an easterly onshore flow kicks in, and we're going to be stuck with that easterly flow, I think, through at least Friday. Dew points 50s and 60s over the next few days, so we are going to be very comfortable, and then we'll see the humidity levels kind of creep up a bit. Rain chances do return back into the picture, especially by late week. Two scenarios right now. We're watching one storm system develop over the Carolinas, could spread a few isolated showers in here Thursday into Friday, and then we dry out through the weekend. Another scenario, a more significant scenario, will consolidate this into a area of low pressure, could be a tropical storm by late week. That would be a more significant scenario for us. Right now, we're going to the first solution. White Marlin Open, big weekend in Ocean City. We start the week dry. Second half of the week turns unsettled, but the heat, yes, it returns August 10th through the 16th. We drop into the upper 70s late week with the rain chances at least through about Friday, and then we go back up to the mid to upper 80s through the weekend.
July's labor report here in the U.S. How many jobs were added this month? Employment opportunities aren't as plentiful as they used to be. The U.S. added 73,000 jobs in July, according to the Labor Department, resulting in the unemployment rate rising a tenth of a point to 2.4%, and Friday's report confirms what many economists had forecasted, a slowdown in the employment openings caused by weak hiring numbers in a majority of the industry. Data from May and June's payrolls were also revised down by 258,000 jobs. Coast TV News continues after the break with your health news. August is here and school is starting in many parts of the country. And when it comes to COVID-19, recent changes to federal vaccine guidance have left many Americans confused about the latest policies. According to a new survey data from KFF published on Friday, some Americans are concerned about access to COVID-19 shots this fall and whether their insurance will cover the cost. The poll found that most adults in the U.S. do not plan to get a COVID-19 vaccine this fall. And we now take a live look into a beautiful shot there in Ocean City. And after the break here on Coast TV News at 6, we have a final check on your forecast. Each Friday, you can cheer up with a weekly dose of local good news from Coast TV. It's full of features, cool things to do each weekend, and more. You can sign up now for our Feel Good Friday newsletter at coasttv.com/signup.
And it's another nice, comfortable night on Delmarva. Temperatures right now 75 in Ocean City, and it's going to be a beautiful evening. Partly cloudy skies. We fall to around 70 by around 10. Another night, upper 50s to mid 60s across the peninsula. Get your forecast anytime. Dial the First Alert Weather Phone, sponsored by Broxton, Mundalis, Federico. We see plenty of sunshine through our Monday. Low humidity continues. We do have that air quality alert in play for Delaware tomorrow, and we'll see the humidity creep up a bit Wednesday. And then as we get into Thursday, Friday, Saturday, keeping a close eye on the coast for that potential storm, whether it develops or not. And there you see by the tail end of that 10-day forecast, heat, humidity returns. We're back to the 90s by next Monday.
Thank you, Chris, and thank you for joining us here for Coast TV News at 6. For more news and local weather, download our Coast TV News app. Be sure to join us tonight at 11. Until then, have a great night.